wearing male fae clothes, breeches and a tunic, all black that would blend in with the dark alleys or the woods on a moonless night, like a master thief on a mission. Lady Sessily stalked her target. Her dark, curly brown hair was wound in braids and secured to the back of her head. Then she'd covered it with a wide-brimmed ebony hat pulled low over her eyes that shadowed her face in the low light of the alley. The hat had been her father's when he went on a mission like this, and now she proudly wore it, the black plumed feather waving like an invisible flag in the light breeze. She peered out beyond the ancient stone building and watched the man she was hired to assassinate, swaggering with his arrogant pride as he headed toward the gaming house. Lord Davenport loved collecting new brides and their dowries and eliminating them as soon as possible so that he could court another fae heiress, but only in another fae kingdom so that no one knew what he'd done in the last one. Some fae wouldn't have cared. One less fae of another kingdom, no problem. Not until they learned that it didn't matter which kind he murdered. Any would do as long as she was available and wealthy. But this time he had married the wrong woman. As soon as Lord Davenport had targeted Lady Marguerite, her brother had tried to learn everything he could about the fae. By the time he had discovered Lord Davenport had a string of former wives, all dead of mysterious causes, his sister had already married the fae and was too in love to see anything but good in her new husband. Her brother could think of only one way to get rid of the Lord before he murdered his sister. He contacted the Denkar Fae Assassin Guild to end the Lord's life, not that the brother knew who he was really hiring. Sessily was certain Lady Marguerite's brother would have said no to the deal. Sessily had watched Lord Davenport's movements for a day and a half, learning his routine, but not wanting to delay his demise. She wished she had longer to observe him, as she was most methodical in researching the behavior of her intended victims. Any mistake and she could be dead instead of her target, and, if she died, the poor wife of the Lord would be next. Sessily stayed to the alleyways, watching his progress as he stalked along the dim-lighted street to the gambling house where he would spend another of his bride's dowries. He was handsome as men go, a blonde fae dressed in the finest of clothes, his bearing noble, and a real charmer with the ladies. But he was the worst of beasts, if one could discern the true man beneath the clothes and his bearing. He was the devil himself, with only one thought in mind. Which fae heiress would he claim next for his own? Sessily almost wanted him to attempt to ply his charms on her. She was an heiress also. But in his case, she'd like to see how he tried to woo her before she put him out of his misery.